Hi everybody, hope you're having a great day. Today at KD Cuts, we're talking about making beer koozies. A couple of years ago, I showed you how I used 8-9 ounce leather and a foam koozie to make custom beer koozies. Wasn't my idea, got the idea off of social media. Basically, it's a 4 by 10 inch piece of veg tan that you skybe the ends, sew it together, glue in your favorite beer koozie. Pretty cool. Done a few of these for groomsmen's gifts and presents for friends, things like that. Got to thinking about it, and I also wanted to make a flexible koozie, a regular one you could put in your pocket. And I came up with both a regular koozie and also a slim seltzer koozie. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to do your own pattern and make the koozie. But if you're interested, I do have a pattern available at my Etsy site for $2, pretty cheap. And it gives you the dimensions for both a regular koozie and a slender seltzer can koozie. Now, first thing you'll notice is the bottom is not round. Who said the bottom of a beer koozie has to be round? So for a regular one, I use a hexagonal pattern, and then for a slender one, I just use a straight strap. Much easier to cut. So let's go to the workbench, get started.
Let's make a scratch koozie pattern on paper. This is a 1/4 inch grid engineering paper in a lab notebook. You can get these on Amazon. And I've done the basic layout, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inches wide, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 inches tall. Here's my center. It's 1 inch. And then you do a hexagonal pattern. So you end up with a 2 inch width bottom. And then you repeat down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me, 4 tall. Yeah, so 4 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you come over here and come down. There you go. There's the other corner. So here are your 4 corners. So you can freehand this. You don't really need a straight edge at this point. So that is a freehand beer koozie pattern done on 1/4 inch engineering paper. Pretty simple. And not having that round bottom when we go to cut this, you're going to see why that's an advantage. Now while we're freehanding patterns, let's go ahead and work on the slender seltzer type. It's 4.5 wide by 5 tall. With a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, it's going to require you to do 2 pages. We're going to basically do a half pattern or a 2/3 pattern. Okay? So we'll start. There's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. So those are my 2 corners. Okay, it's 5 tall. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a little slender, and taller than a regular one. By the way, the slender size works great for a slender beer bottle as well as a seltzer. Now for this, what I do is I basically find my center, 4.5, so 2 1/4. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's my center. And all I do for this one is I make a 2-inch yeah, 2-inch wide. Make sure I get that right for you. Let's see, there's my center. Yeah. So I do a straight rectangular shape for a bottom. Does not have to be round. Works perfectly fine. Now you'll notice I'll run out of paper if I try and do the 5 inches on one piece of paper. So I'm going to duplicate this, and we'll have to stitch it together if we want to make a functional template. So I've taken the standard koozie pattern and I've used clear shipping tape, and I've taped over the entire pattern. I haven't done a precision cut yet. Now there's an important reason for doing this. The next step is going to be to take our paper pattern and glue it to cardboard or whatever you want to use as a stiffener, so you have a functional template. Okay? So let's take this and a straight edge and cut it out. Take your time when you're doing this if you want to get it right. Rushing won't help a thing. Okay, so I have not cut out the bottom part yet. Before I do that, I'm going to glue the untaped side to a piece of poster board with some, I like my Eco Weld, my water-based contact cement. Works great. So what I like to do is just apply glue to the paper side, liberally, very liberally. And I'm just using a stir stick, a Home Depot stir stick. Doesn't matter what you use. Now the reason for gluing this before we cut out the bottom detail was to keep the pattern or the paper part shifting, because putting on the glue wettens and gives the paper a little bit of ability to move. So I'm checking all my corners. So I'm going to let that set up probably an hour or two, come back and do the cutting out of the bottom detail. Let's go ahead and work on the slender design. So here you'll see I have a 2/3 pattern on one page. I did a 1/2 pattern on the other page. And all I'm going to do here is carefully line this up. Use a piece of tape, tape it together. Go over it with my clear shipping tape and create a template with cardboard, just like I did for the regular size koozie. Here we have two homemade beer koozie patterns, 1/4-inch grid paper, some shipping tape, and some cardboard. Now you can do that and make your own, or if you want to, you can download the pattern from my Etsy site, $2. Has both dimensions for both the slender and the regular. It's got the bottom in a rectangular or an octagonal pattern, and you're going to see in a minute why that's better than a circle and really easy. I think you're going to like it. I've got a nice piece of oil tan drop that I can get both of these shapes out of. Here's my scribe. Let's work on the regular one first. Alright, got my pattern scribed in my leather. And now I'm going to take my head knife, and the first thing I like to do is cut the bottom out first before I cut the koozie out of the leather. And this is what's so great about not having a round bottom. I can simply roll cut. Or let's do a pull knife. Even easier. Let's It's really important on the slender koozie, and you'll see that in the end when the slender koozie design. All right, the koozies have the edges scratched so we can start gluing. Put in our maker's mark. Let's glue these guys together. Our koozies have stood up for a day. They're glued and ready to stitch, inside out. I'm going to use a 4mm craft tool chisel to stitch these. And my stitch line, this is very important, is going to be a 1/4 inch or less off of the edges. Okay? So I've got my ruler, I've got my dividers, I've got this just a little under 1/4, okay? I'm going to scribe in my stitch lines. Now I've punched my holes. You're not going to be able to see that. But I'll leave both edges alone. You want edges to be open. You're not going to stitch over these edges. Okay? I'm going to go away, stitch these up, and come back. We'll turn them right side out.